And we're live.
Are you live? Can you see we're live?
Yep.
All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Artist Spotlight Show with your friend Russell K. And we're being brought to you by Blue Shamrock. And a special thank you to Mr. Steven Brady. And each and every week you can find us here 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Well, except for tonight. We had some pretty bad winter storms, weather storms that actually hit the last few days here. And so it's caused havoc on our internet. Since we are an internet stream radio station, I guess you could say that's one of the downfalls. Downfall is our show. We interview some amazing artists each and every week on Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Again, being brought to you by Raza Family Sports, DeAndre the Torch Robinson. When it comes to sports, also a special thank you to Rise Up Family Sports. Also, Titan Events Incorporated. When it comes to, we got you covered. Just go to TitanEventsinc.com, TitanEventsinc.com, and you'll be able to check that out. So again, without any further delay, we have a special guest from the other side of the pond, up in beautiful Australia. We got Hazel with us. Hazel, first and foremost, welcome to the show. And thank you for your patience. How you doing this evening?
Well, I will do my best.
How you
I'll try and
doing,
stick it. How are you going? Thank you so much for having me here.
Yes, and you're such a trooper, and thanks for hanging out with us here. As I mentioned, storms, and so we'll get through this show. I'd like to start the show by maybe
Have we lost Russell again? This could be a great song topic. And how are you guys all going over there, wherever you are? Tuned in a couple of times, but doesn't seem like it's working. We might have to reschedule this interview for another time.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Russell?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear
you. I can hear you.
I've been rambling on. I've been talking to the people live while you've been frozen on the screen.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we are having, again, apologies to our audience. We've had some storms going through the station where we're located, so apologies to you for that. How did you get into the music business?
Well, it all started, I was about 12 years old and I was writing a lot of poetry. And then my dad, he's a musician, and he gave me a guitar. And so then I started learning the guitar. And then I ended up entering in some country talent quests when I was about 16. And then after that, I got into musical theatre and did a little bit of that. But really, I was just always passionate about writing music and writing lyrical songs. So kind of went from there. Then I became a mum. So I was sort of occupied for a while. And then I went and studied music. Later off, my late 20s, I studied music. And then after that, I sort of just had this really strong passion for it. And my full-time job is on the other side of the industry. I actually run events, and I do a lot of creative consultancy and a bit of marketing and so forth for other artists that are touring. And then on the side, I do my own music. So, yeah, I'm in the music industry 24/7, all the time. I love it.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, we love doing these shows because we have the opportunity to meet some amazing people just like yourself. And, well, by the way, with Blue Shamrock Music, we want to get all the people that's been on our show We want to get them all together and do one big show up in Australia. So maybe we can reach back out and maybe you can help us put that together. What do you think?
I love that idea. And every event or festival I've put on over the last 10 years has been successful. I haven't seen even the events that have had terrible weather. Like I remember running this festival and the winds were blowing the marquees and, but we still soldiered on and got the event going and everyone still had a good time. So I do put a lot of hard work and passion behind my events. So I think, yeah, I'm your person. Oh, are you there? You've gone all quiet. I can't hear you now.
Now we're putting bingo. This has been together. Tell me about how your band got together.
Well, during the lockdowns of 2020, I brought in some musicians and I started sort of working with them. And after that, I had a little break because lockdowns were we were the most locked down state or country in the whole world. So I couldn't really rehearse. I couldn't do anything. So there was a bit of a quiet patch there and it kind of disappeared, the whole band thing. But then I brought it back up again with some new musicians. And it just happened so quickly. The whole project, Hazel and the Thief, is me. I write all the music. I was always a solo performer. And I just then started pulling these amazing musicians. And then I went into the studio and recorded. And right now, I guess a lot of my shows, I use the same band. But if I go into state, I'll bring in session players. So my thieves are usually just amazing musicians that really steal the show from me and create the whole atmosphere and the whole sound that Hazel and Thief brings to the audience.
So let's talk about your show. What if I come to your show? What type of show am I going to be expecting?
A lot of dynamics and a lot of storytelling throughout the songs. So very energetic songs. All my songs start off quite, a lot of vocal and a lot of melodics. And then the drums come in and then the electric guitars and the fiddle, and it kind of builds this big energy and then it comes back down again. So it's sort of like this energy journey through every song that I do. And I always tell my little stories in between. Sometimes I bring a visual aspect as well, whether it's a projector screen or I've had visuals on the walls as well. So look, I just want people to experience sound and visual when they come and see a full band show.
Awesome. Now, let's talk about the music. You're in the music industry 24/7. What do you think about today's music compared to maybe back in the day? Do you like it? You don't like it? What are your thoughts?
I love that there's so much music. There's just so many artists and so much choice now.
Yeah, think about that one.
It makes it challenging. Yeah, it makes it challenging as an artist, but it's really amazing for the listeners and the people that love music. There's just, you jump on these streaming services and I listen to new music every single day. I love some of my old stuff, but I always love to find new music to listen to and to be inspired by. I think music industry is really fantastic, but it's to listen to and enjoy. But as an artist, it's a passion job. Unless you make it big, you're not making much money off your music these days. So you got to really just be passionate and enjoy it and express. And I guess where I make my money is live shows and selling merchandise, I guess. I'm a visual artist too, so I do a lot of drawings and I've created all my T-shirts and I'm in the process of creating these bolo ties. This isn't one of mine, but bolo ties with kookaburras, and I'm going to be selling them. So that's sort of bringing in other aspects of art that I do with my music is where I'm heading. But yeah, it is. It's a hard industry to make money, that's for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you. But are there any ideas of maybe how you could make money in the business? I mean, obviously, artists, they're looking to go full time. Some of the artists we interview do art. This is their full time job.
You're cutting out. You're cutting
And
out a little bit there, but I
there's
can
some
hear the question slightly.
artists are knocking on the door.
Well, the kookaburras are going off. They're laughing at me.
Oh no, they shouldn't be laughing at you. I wouldn't be laughing at you.
Yeah, I just.
So did you? Yeah. So yeah. I mean, let's talk about the streaming services. Let's talk about the streaming services and the sharing of between the artists and the streaming services. What are your thoughts about that? You like what that is, or maybe people need to go back and renegotiate that?
I'm not a big fan of live streaming. I love the streaming services as a listener, so I understand why it needs to be there. It is one way to be acknowledged for your art, but I don't want artists to feel like they're being judged by how many streams they've got. I also think that we should be making a lot more money on streaming services. So if we could get paid better and not be judged as an artist by how many listens we get, because obviously you can buy playlisting and you can buy streams. So, I don't do that, because what's the point? You're just throwing money away. You're not going to make it back through your live streaming. But yeah, I think the streaming services I enjoy as a listener, but as an artist, it does suck that we make absolutely no money. I've had over 150,000 streams within a couple of weeks of my first single, and I think I made 25 cents, and that was via Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. So the three platforms. No, sorry, not 25 cents. I made $25. So, it was not much money at all.
Well, you can pretty much say it could be like 25 cents. I mean, come on. I mean, wow. So let's talk about your album. Let's talk about your music. Let's talk about your new single. Tell us how that came about. And as you're telling us about your song, what does your songwriting look like? Is it based on past experiences, or what does that look like?
Well, the recent song, Sally Storm, was actually a very fictional story that came from my imagination during a wild storm. So I was in a little cabin in a place called the Grampians in Australia, Victoria. And this cabin was just made out of wood logs. And I was sitting there and I could hear it sort of starting to shake, and the wind was picking up. And I thought, gee, there's a big storm coming. I had a look at the weather radar and I could see that the winds were going to hit 100 kilometers an hour. And I thought, this is going to be a scary storm. And so I buckled in and I opened up a bottle of red wine and I pulled out the guitar and I just kind of created Sally Storm. I sort of pictured myself as this woman out in under all the big trees and going, well, how all the feelings that you would get. So, in the song I talk about, being under big tall trees, I feel tiny. I talked about mudslides and wild winds. And then I started going into this story where this poor woman, Sally, she just goes missing and the whole town goes out searching for her. And eventually the sad ending of the song is that they find her, but she's just buried in mud, dead. gone, sadly. I had to have a dead, sad, horrible ending. I don't know why, but that's sort of the song. When you hear it, the fiddle comes in, and it's this again, and this full energetic song from beginning to end. Very different to what I usually write, but it was my favorite song to write and produce.
Awesome. So at this time, we're going to give you the floor. Is there anything you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, I'd love to tell everybody that, even though I've sort of just started releasing music in the last 10 months, I've actually been performing and writing music for 20 years. But I've also been a mum for 20 years. And all the music and all the performance that I was connected to was just to kind of get by and make money. So I'd be playing a lot of shows on the weekend just to kind of bring in some income to support my children, because I was a single mum as well. So I have been doing music and live performance for years and years and years. So I'm quite experienced in that, but I'd never recorded any music and really put it out there. So it was the time when I lost some friends recently, and one of them being a musician, and a light bulb moment hit me, and I thought, wow, I've got all these amazing songs and I've never let anyone really hear them. So I had some money saved up, and I thought, I'm not going to put that money towards a holiday or a new car. I'm actually going to put this money towards making music and getting it out there, because I felt like if I were dead tomorrow, I'd want something that my children or great grandchildren could see and listen to. So I went straight away. I booked a producer by the name of Matt Fell, and how I found him was I spent a whole week just listening to music that I enjoyed, and I would click on the little link in Spotify that said view music credits, and I saw Matt Fell's name pop up quite a bit. So I reached out to him, and straight away he said, "Oh, send me a song." So I did, and next thing I was booking a boat over to Tasmania, and I was in his studio and recording 6 songs. And so I've released 3 of them. I've got 3 sitting there ready to go, and I'm about to go back there and do another 6 songs with him. So it's all happening. I'm just going to really push these songs over the next 12 months, and then hopefully hit the road and play live again and have a little break from releasing until I can save up some money and do another album or another EP or some sort.
And that's awesome. How did you get in contact with one of our sponsors and one of my buddies, Stephen Brady and Blue Shamrock Music? How did that come together for you?
Well, I'm a really good researcher. So I jump on the internet and I'm always researching what people are doing and who are they connecting with. And first off, I connected with Key2 Artists, who are a publicity company that help get you radio interviews and editorials and that sort of thing. And Therese, who runs that, and Ali, they were so wonderful. They put me onto Blue Shamrock. And then I spoke to Stephen through email, and I thought, this guy's a top bloke. And he was so helpful and giving me all this advice. So I thought this time round with this single, I'll just work with Stephen, and I will continue working with him for all the next few songs that come out in the album. So he's just a top bloke. He really dedicates his time and passion into emerging artists and established artists. But for me as an emerging artist, he's really helped, and I really appreciate it. So, yeah.
Yeah, Stephen just wanted me to tell you that the check saying that.
Well, 25 cents?
Let me ask you this. I think it'd be more than $25. Oh, I forgot to tell you, when you come on our show, expect the unexpected. That's what we love doing our show. So how can we get in contact with you not only to listen to your amazing. I actually had the opportunity to listen to the song you're talking about right before we went live on the show. I had an opportunity to check out your background and your music and everything. And wow, you got a beautiful voice, and the music is just, it's so soothing. It's just music you want to hear over and over again. Speaking of your music, speak about that brand new song. That brand new song is open up our morning show tomorrow on the Russell K. Shauna Brown and DJ Cassie morning show. We are going to play that morning show. We want you to listen now, okay? 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Yeah. So I'm not sure what time it is over your side of the pond there, but yeah, we're going to give you some love, and we're going to put that on our morning show. And you're going to like our morning show. It's zany characters, comedy, some amazing music, and you're going to open that up for us. So we're super excited to share that moment with you.
Thank you. I was really hoping that Sally Storm would I thought over there in the US it would probably do really well. I don't know why. I just had this feeling that if that's the country I feel is going to grab that song and play it on their radio station. So fingers crossed. Thank you so much, for playing it and giving it some love.
Yes, we're going to get that. We're going to for sure. And as for this evening, any final thoughts you'd like to share with us?
Thank you.
Any final thoughts you'd like to share?
Well, if you want to give Hazel and the Thief a follow, you can jump on.
See, we're
on all the social media. I'm on TikTok.
Final question for you. I thought you'd like to share with the audience before we put a wrap on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Now?
Yeah. Oh, you're frozen. Because I can't hear you very well. You can jump onto G'day Hazel or Hazel and the Thief on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
There you go. There you go. And we're you're not going to write a song about this show tonight. It's been a challenge.
I will.
But we're going to make it happen. But
I've already started writing it.
We're gonna come up with a song, okay? You and I are gonna write a song about this show tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna look like, how it's gonna sound, but we're gonna make it happen. All right, my friend. Well, you take care. It's good talking to you, and so nice to meet you. And you have an amazing voice.
You too.
And,
thank
definitely more about your songs. And get ready for part two. Part two. We're gonna uninterrupted part two.
Yeah. I look forward